Today I want to talk about Charli XCX's Wuthering Heights soundtrack. Charli's Wuthering Heights soundtrack doesn't try to romanticize and soften the story it's telling. Instead, it leans into the obsession and emotional turmoil, the parts of Emily Bronte's novel that seem to have been softened in Emerald Fennell's adaptation. People unfamiliar with the book probably expected the soundtrack to be hopeful, sexy, and romantic. Instead, Charli delivers something brutal and raw, which makes sense when you remember that Wuthering Heights is more than a romance. It's mostly obsession, vengeance, and emotional chaos. Charli leans into this side of the story. From the first track, you can tell this project is meant to be haunting, evocative, and obsessive. Charli blends distorted synths, strings, vocal layering, distortion, and stretches of tension that at times feels unsettling, like a fever dream. Let's do a track-by-track breakdown. House featuring John Cale is, in my opinion, the perfect way to open the album and set the tone for what's to come. The moody, industrial, and unsettling sounds reflect on the anxieties both Heathcliff and Catherine experience at Wuthering Heights. John's spoken words add a layer of emotion. The song becomes alive and gains more texture on the second half, repeating the same lyric to emphasize the tension between both parties. Wall of Sound is one of my favorite tracks on the record, and the perfect track to play after House. It still carries an eerie sound thanks to the beautiful strings. In this song, Charli sings about the tension and the push and pull of desire, wanting to talk herself out of them and the need to be loved. The repetition of lyrics feels like a sacred prayer. At the end of the song, Charli's vocals sound distant, almost like she's in another room, behind a wall of sound. Dying for You is sonically more aligned with Charli's past work, but don't let the upbeat production fool you. The song explores themes of self-punishment, knowing that the love you have for someone causes you harm and still wanting to be with them. Always Everywhere is a soft, slow romantic song with an airy dreamlike production. Charli describes being consumed by someone's presence even when they're not there. I like to imagine this is Heathcliff's point of view after Catherine is gone, right after he asks her to haunt him. The song reminds me of The Archer by Taylor Swift. Instead of building towards a big moment, the songs remain in the same sonic landscape. Chains of Love is my favorite track on the album. The ballad wraps you in synths and texture. Charli dives into an emotional attachment and the love Kathy has for Heathcliff as something she can't escape no matter what. Out of Myself is another one of my favorites on the album. The song feels freeing. It's finally being able to breathe after holding your breath. It's Catherine embracing all the emotions Heathcliff gives her, both physical and emotional. Open Up is a simple, beautiful interlude. Charli's vocals are beautiful, and the repetition of the lyrics, Open Up, feels like Catherine's subconscious wanting to remind her to stay true to her heart. At least that's how I interpret it. Seeing Things is a great track to follow after the interlude. This one is one of my favorites as well. It feels very true to the book with a mention of a ghost. This song blurs the lines between what's real and what Catherine and Heathcliff want to see. In Altars, Charli uses religious imagery to convey a sense of devotion. However, this devotion is starting to crack while it realizes the toxicity of it. Charli's vocals in the song are some of my favorites, especially at the beginning. Eyes of the World, featuring Sky Ferreira, is full of strings that almost feel unsettling, as if it were an echo of House. Sky's vocals complement the project as she sets a moody tone with her delivery. My Reminder is definitely the most traditionally pop track on the project, and at first it felt out of place. But this track touches on the realization that you're too different from the person you love. However, this realization is not bitter. It comes with gratitude for the earlier years. The reminder is being worn like a necklace. Funny Mouth is the final track of the project. Personally, I think Always Everywhere is a better fit for the last track, but that's beside the point. The production feels both unsettling and experimental. Both the production and Charli's delivery remind me of a softer version of House. When I first read that Charli would create the soundtrack for Wuthering Heights, I was definitely surprised, wondering what could it possibly sound like. But she delivered the perfect companion to the movie. You can hear the tension and obsession between Catherine and Heathcliff. The feeling of having one foot out the door and the other one unable to follow. Did you like the soundtrack? What are your top tracks? Mine are Wall of Sound, Always Everywhere, Chains of Love, and Out of Myself. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a like. If you love pop culture, feel free to subscribe. Catch up on my latest video, and I'll see you guys next week.